Spin the wheel, Jesse?
We should spin the wheel. It's
we have to spin the wheel.
We have to spin the wheel.
So
we have to be certain.
We're listening to listeners' suggestions today. As we've listened to somebody's suggestion, we've removed them from the wheel. So clearly this is our last one, unless we go back for seconds. And our final listener who gave us a suggestion was Momo. Momo gave 2 songs, I think. So we're going to flip a coin and decide which one. Jesse's got to set up high tech today.
It's rigged.
Okay, I actually think it might be broken. This is our 3rd heads today. And truthfully, I can't say I'm sad about this. The heads is, and it's going to work really well with the last song. The heads is ABC by Polyphia featuring Sophia Black. Momo says about this song, my first suggestion is ABC by Polyphia. If you know or enjoy the virtuosity of bands like Dirty Loops, a progressive rock sound, plus pop/modern touches, well, this is definitely the experience you would be looking for. A quite unique sound compared to what I'm used to, but definitely an enjoyable one.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Someone call it paramedic. I can't speak, it's all phonetic. Made me forget every word, cause like that's a lot of letters. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. 911, hello, it's me, Sophia. Yes, this is an emergency. Yes, the way they put it down on me got the whole room tipsy. Hyperventilating when we be procreating. Where'd you learn to do that thing? How you hold the bat when you swing? I don't think I can breathe, I don't think I can be, I don't think I can think, I don't think I can see. Fuck. Someone call a paramedic. I can't speak, it's all phonetic. Made me forget every word, cause like that's a lot of letters. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Cut your pick out and put it in my locket, so I could kiss you whenever I wanted. Hyperventilating when we be procreating. Where'd you learn to do that thing? Now you hold it back when you swing. I don't think I can breathe, I don't think I can be, I don't think I can think, I don't think I can see. Shit. Someone call a paramedic. I can't speak, it's all phonetic. Made me forget every word, cause like that's a lot of letters. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. あいうえおかきくけこさしすせそ立ちつてとなにむねのはいうえおまみむめもやいるえよやりるれろはびぶべこちょっと待ってイケメンじゃない？イケメンだよね。無理やばい超かっこいいんだけどなんか緊張しちゃう。ちょっと待って無理絶対無理やばいんだけど。
That last part wasn't supposed to be a part of the song. Jesse, we can't hear you.
There.
Yay! There you are.
Kojima Works pointed out that they were also going through the Japanese alphabet too, which is very...
Sophia Black is Japanese Mexican American.
Sweet.
She's trilingual, so she's, yeah. That was
That's
her
awesome.
speaking in the background in Japanese during the song.
Good to know. I'm guessing that this song is very popular with the sign language community.
Because of the spelling?
Like there's, you know how like A, B, C, D, E, F, U, that song got really popular because of the sign language community. I'm guessing this one is too. If they can sign along at the speed that they're saying those
Yeah.
letters.
So clearly, I'm a big fan of this song. Have you all heard this before?
Yes.
I might have, but it's been a while.
I think I shared it at some point, actually, because it's
But
like one of my favorite songs.
This is a banger. I'm so glad.
It's absolutely a banger.
Yes. I've been listening to the album quite frequently since it came out.
Also a great album.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, Momo, for choosing a song for me to share. I'm joking. No, I was really excited when I saw that. I was like, I'll take any excuse to listen to this song. I was curious if you thought this too. I played this for a friend of mine, actually when we were coming home from the Polyphia concert. And I was like, I don't know how they would have done it, but I was kind of hoping that they would play it. They did not. They didn't have a singer with them. And my friend was like, oh, I've heard this before. And then he was listening to it. It's like, it does feel really like K-pop, J-pop, idol pop-esque in some of the delivery. And I think I was listening to it thinking about that comment this time because I hadn't really revisited it. And I think I kind of hear it. Like, it has the little like shouty chorus stuff toward the end, which I really love. But I was curious if you all got that vibe as well.
I definitely got like at least from the instrumentals like a J-rock sort of vibe. But that was like a really fun contrast with what I would describe as R&B style melody vocals, but also kind of sped up in some parts like Nightcore, which is just like a whole bunch of really fun stuff going on. Yeah.
I hadn't even gotten the Nightcore vibe. What part are you thinking of?
Well, the speed and like the sort of like chipmunky processing that they're doing to a little bit.
Alexis, are you?
As for me, I think the Polyphia elements have made it difficult for me to like really latch onto like anything that might be J-pop or J-rock oriented, but as I'm spinning it back in my head, I am kind of picking up on some details and similarities that I do feel like were intentionally J-rock in terms of like how certain strumming patterns and guitar tones are used in J-rock. They do feel like they are trying to emulate that sort of sound, which is really cool. And I think this effort from them in general has them kind of broadening their horizons the most that they've sounded in the entirety of their career, where I feel like a lot of like their middle and early parts of their career have been just very Polyphia, and like I do know that they or I do feel like they definitely like draw some like out external inspirations and add it to their sound, but I think this is like clearly the most that they felt they are combining the classical Polyphia stuff very heavily with just the other sounds that they're incorporating, and it almost to the point where it almost feels like it's 60-40, 60 being the new sounds, 40 being the Polyphia sound, which I think is really cool. So I think that makes me feel very
Can you define what very Polyphia means for those of us who are not familiar?
Very technical guitar sounds. I think I would describe the Polyphia sound as kind of like Scott LePage's and Tim Henson's signature guitar writing approach to guitar. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Idiosyncratic to the guitar. Like you can't really emulate the Scott LePage and Tim Henson sound on other instruments because they develop certain techniques that only really make sense on a guitar, and to an extent those techniques belong to them because they're the ones that developed it for the most part. So that has like it contributes a lot to their unique sound. So it shows up a lot in their songwriting as well. So that's what I think is the Polyphia sound in a way.
I think the challenge with it is that like nobody else that I'm aware of is doing the Polyphia sound.
Yeah.
And so it is very like unique to them that you have to listen to some of their discography and then you're like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Interestingly, this song was my introduction to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can imagine how, I mean, I think I kind of expected it after I looked them up, but you can imagine like how confused I was going back and listening to their old music when this was the first thing I heard.
Yeah.
The old music being, I guess in my opinion, a lot more based in like prog metal.
Yeah.
A lot more metal to it, less poppy than this song for sure. They don't even really have any other songs that are this poppy.
Yeah.
Like this whole last album felt like a collection of experiments in a really good way.
Yeah.
Successful experiments is my own personal biased opinion, but
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like maybe the way I described the Polyphia sound is kind of like abstract. It's like, how does someone walk away from hearing that and being like, oh, I can imagine that? Like, I think to kind of like describe it simply, like, it's a very metallic sound. It's like, it literally sounds like you're hearing kind of like guitar that sounds metal and not like the genre, but like the sounds itself feel like they have a texture of metal. And it's very insanely rhythmically on the beat. It's like I've seen them play a lot of their parts live, and part of the sound, part of like what makes the sound is how tightly on the beat they play. And like I'm kind of like flabbergasted. I thought like maybe a lot of this was just post production where like they just do they do a recording, try to do it as close as possible, and then just like make that the take. But no, like they literally play at that speed, at that like level of precision, and it really like makes that sound very particular because it's not like loose or flowy. So yeah, it's a very metallic and very precise sort of like writing style, and it's like just all over the place with taps and like long series of like note sequences and stuff. So I would describe that as the Polyphia sound.
it's sort of like an absolute guitar nerd
Yeah.
who also is rather virtuosic,
Yeah.
writes music.
Yeah.
It's like music by nerds for nerds. I love it.
I love it too. Yeah.
Super cool. I definitely really love Polyphia. This song, such a bop, such a blast. I feel like I definitely had some things in mind to talk about, but the song is just so much fun.
You could take so long to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember just my general excitement to talk about the song in general when I saw the submission for this, because even though I'm very familiar with this already, I am really happy to spread this band to more people as much as possible, and I'm happy to do that at any opportunity I can, because even though I feel like they're kind of making waves right now, and they're very recent, but I feel like I don't have the opportunity to talk to them. I don't have the opportunity to talk about them as much as I would like,
Or to them, for that matter.
or to them, yeah, as I am usually doing, as I'm connected like that. But yeah, I want to talk to them. I want to talk about them as much as possible. So I found this to be, a really cool and interesting opportunity to get to do that. So yeah, hopefully more people get to talk about them and talk to them as much as I am, because this is such a special, cool little band that I think has a really interesting future ahead of them.
And credit to Sophia Black as well. Jesse, are either of you familiar with her solo work?
I'm
No.
not.
I will be
She
very shortly.
is very R&B pop singer. So good call, Jesse, on picking out that vibe from her. There are a couple songs from her that I really like too. I think it's worth checking out. And also she sang that A B C D E F G etc. At pace as well. That was not post-production.
Wow.
I know, because she's done it on TikTok.
Wow.
And then people commented and they were like, good, but not as good as the original. She said, thanks, guys.
It's like those tweets where like some like researchers like says something at a conference and then someone corrects them. Is like, oh, you really need to read the like research by like McCarthy et al.
And they're the
I'm
researcher, yeah.
McCarthy, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
but small aside, during the bridge where they have that sort of like phone conversation in Japanese. I'm not fluent by any means, but like I did understand a little bit, and like she said like "chotto mate" a few times, and that means like hold up or slow down, wait a minute.
And then
yeah.
it went into the breakdown.
They're so going so fast that like that seemed a little appropriate, and then she like said a few times "muri muri," which means impossible, or like no way. So,
Oh, funny.
yeah.
Well, the cool thing about that is right after that, they go into the like halftime breakdown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's telling them to slow down and they do. Love that. One more thing about Sophia and her on this song in particular. I think she brings so much energy to the song. Like, the song is energetic just by it being fast paced, but all of the background noises and the squeals and the personality that she really brings into the vocals here, I think really makes the song. It makes it really fun, where I feel like if you sang this song too seriously, it would be difficult to take seriously, especially when you're singing the alphabet and like only the alphabet at some point. But I really appreciate the way that she approached the vocals to this song that is like, yes, incredibly musically impressive, shows great musicianship, shows great just technical skill in writing and playing, but also is just like a jam.
Very good.
Music for nerds.
Music for nerds.